Hello, I'm Joe Clark, and this is the second of 2 DVDs on cruise ships in 2015. They're seen in Southampton, Funchal, Madeira, and various ports in the Caribbean. You will also see them in the Pentland Firth as they make their way from west to east or east to west. Like the first part, the film is about ships we or our friends have seen this year in various ports around the world. My wife and I love Madeira, and we always try to stay at the Port of Santa Maria hotel, which overlooks the entrance to Funchal, so I can film the ships as they come in the morning and go out later in the day. We also stay in Southampton, where I can film ships as they come in and go out of the harbour. But enough of that, let's get on with the film. Our first ship is Adonia. She started life as R8 in 2001. She was built by Chantiers de l'Atlantique. In 2003 she became the Minerva II for Swan Hellenic. And then in 2003 the Royal Princess. In 2007 she reverted to P&O and became the Adonia as she is now. She's the smallest of the P&O fleet, and this suits a number of the guests who prefer the smaller ships. See her here leaving Southampton. She'll make her way from the western docks up past Town Quay before going down Southampton Water and into the Solent on her way to wherever she's cruising. As she approaches Town Quay, she'll give a blast on her siren to warn a red funnel ferry. Well, that seems to have done the job, and we can now watch Adonia as she sails down Southampton Water towards the Solent. And we're going to leave Adonia just there. The next 2 ships are not unlike, the Allure of the Seas and the Anthem of the Seas. Anyway, here we're looking at the Allure of the Seas. She was built for Royal Caribbean Liners by STX Europe, Turco and Finland. She's registered in the Bahamas, and she made her maiden voyage in 2010. The Allure of the Sea is seen here in Saint Martin, in the Virgin Islands. Just look at all those inside cabins with balconies facing towards the stern from the inside. Well, we've had a good look at the Allure of the Seas, and shortly we're going to move on to her sister, Anthem of the Seas. We can watch as the Anthem of the Seas emerges from behind the Holiday Inn from the Western Docks in Southampton. Built by Mereweft Papenburg, Germany for Royal Caribbean Cruise Lines, she's also registered in Bahamas, and she made her first voyage in 2015. You will see the pod near her bow above the bridge, which swings from side to side, presumably to let passengers have a ride and film the ship as it goes along in the sea. I'm not too sure that I'd want to do that, but no doubt it would be good for photography. The Anthem of the Seas moves down towards Town Quay, where I'll pick her up in a minute. This is not so much fleet of foot or clever photography. We just happened to be in Southampton in May when I was able to take the ship from the hotel, and later on in June from Town Quay. You can see the suspended pod moving slowly down to be secured on the deck. The Anthem of the Seas is about to pass the Queen Elizabeth, so you'll hear the sirens of both ships. And not to be outdone, the Red Funnel car ferry gets into the act. So we'll leave the Anthem of the Sea there as she steams down Southampton water towards the Solent. Our next ship is the Asmara Quest, seen here in Southampton. She was built by Chantier de Atlantique for Renaissance cruises as R7. That was in 2000 and 2003. She became the Delphin Renaissance. 2006, Blue Moon, and from 2007 onwards, the Asmara Quest. We're watching from the Britannia, which is sailing on a cruise. Britannia will be our next ship. So we now come to the Britannia, built by Fincantieri in Monfalcone, Italy. For P&O Cruises, Britannia is registered in Southampton. She made her first cruise in March 2015. We're going to spend a little bit of time looking around the ship. We see her here in Southampton. My friend Brian Simmons took a lot of the following pictures. He joined the ship early in the afternoon and was pleased to find 2 bottles of champagne in his cabin. He did back-to-back cruises. Initially he had an inside cabin, and for the second cruise he had an outside cabin with a balcony. I have to say that the majority of the balconies are very small. Another concern is that there are only 2 staircases, one forward and one aft, companion ways if you prefer the nautical term, in an emergency with 4,300 passengers. This could prove a problem. Anyway, we're going to have a look around the ship, and we start with the Cookery Club. A light and airy space where you can apparently get sausage and mash, a welcome change from the varied menus in the main dining rooms. This apparently is the Headliners Theatre. I imagine they can get quite a few in here when they need to. I don't know the name of this particular room, but it looks like a pub to me. Reception and an area given over to a do-it-yourself booking section where you can no doubt book another cruise if you wish to. This room is the Limelight Club, another eating venue. And here we are in the atrium. There's a Costa Coffee outlet here. Now just where is the drive-through McDonald's, I wonder? I apologise, a little sarcasm from a small ship man. Here we come to the Crystal Room. There appears to be quite a large stage for some sort of entertainment, although the seats are all facing the wrong way. There seem to be any number of bars. And yet somewhere else to eat. Now we've found our way outside to the deck where the swimming pools are. An area for sunbathing. The gym. Here you can spend any number of happy hours getting off those pounds that you put on in the numerous eateries. A very small golf driving range. There's a netball court here. It seems to me to be full size. That's the life. Here's a nice promenade. And we're looking down here onto an area for the children's entertainment. The photo gallery. A place for shows and entertainment. The Live Lounge. I should think that After about a fortnight's cruise, you might know your way around the ship and know what all these various venues are for. Well, here we are in the library, which seems to be very well stocked. One of the very many passageways, this one going past the main suites. The Epicurean Restaurant, obviously a very smart restaurant, with no doubt a very smart extra charge. Well, we're in the Crow's Nest, or the Observation Lounge if you prefer. And there has to be a casino and a load of slot machines. That's the way it is these days. Yet more food available to you. Sailing at last. Britannia leaves her mooring, passes the Shieldall, and makes her way towards Southampton Water. The Queen Elizabeth is backing away from her berth. Let's watch her for a while as she clears her berth. The next night will be Captain's cocktail party night.
Captain Paul Brown. Thank you, Neil, and good evening. Good evening, and it's nice to finally and formally catch up with you all, of course, and say welcome on board. Now, we've got off to a little bit of a grey start, haven't we? But at least the North Sea has been calm with us from a sea perspective. So, a great cruise. It was just the 7 nights as we head up to Norway. I never quite know where we're going. I always have to write this down. It's Bergen tomorrow.
Well, we'll let him work that one out. We're going to leave Britannia now and move on. We're back in Southampton at the same berth. This time we see the Caribbean Princess. She was built by Fincantieri Monfalcone in Italy for Princess Cruises and registered in the Bahamas. She made her first voyage in 2004. So we can watch her now as she leaves her berth. Caribbean Princess has now cleared the wharf and she's going to make her way down Southampton water towards the Solent, and from there she'll set out on her cruise. She's passed by the high-speed Red Funnel ferry going to Hythe. And we'll leave Caribbean Princess as she glides down Southampton water. Now we come to the Carnival Triumph, a Destiny class ship built for Carnival Cruise Lines by Fincantieri Monfalcone in Italy. She made her maiden voyage in 1999. She's seen here in San Martin in the Caribbean. We move on to Celebrity Eclipse. Saw her in Southampton in June, docked. She's a Solstice class ship built by Maer West Papenburg for Celebrity Cruises. She made her maiden cruise in 2010, and in 2011 it was passed to RCL Cruises. We're on the Shield Hall and she's going to pass us as she makes her way down Southampton water towards the Solent. Oh, somebody must be on the bridge. They've seen us. We leave Celebrity Eclipse. Another ship seen in San Martin in the Caribbean was Celebrity Silhouette. She was built by Maer West Papenburg for Celebrity Cruises and made her maiden cruise in 2011. She's also a Solstice class ship. The Vista-class ship Nordam was seen in the Caribbean in 2015. She's a Holland-America Line ship and was built by Fincantieri Monfalcone in Marghera, Italy. She made her first cruise in 2006. See her first in St. Lucia, but we'll see her later on tied up in Barbados. Oh, how I'd like to go back to Barbados. Isn't it funny? You don't have the money when you're young, and when you're older and have the money, you can't travel. Well, that may be true, but I have been lucky enough to go to Barbados 4 or 5 times. I featured the Queen Elizabeth, built in 2010, in part 1. She is in Southampton this time, and I was able to get some closer shots of her. I wasn't close enough, unfortunately, to this 3-masted sailing ship as she passed the Queen Elizabeth on her way up to the Western Docks. I couldn't read her name. Queen Elizabeth is a Vista-class ship built for Cunard by Fincantieri Monfalcone in Italy. She's registered in Bermuda. I waited ages for her to sail, well past the advertised time. Maybe it had something to do with the wind, which was very strong. But the time came at last before I froze solid. The Queen Elizabeth came forward slowly and then backed off due to the wind, very gingerly around the corner before she was able to sail towards the Selvat. So we're going to leave the Queen Elizabeth and move on to our next ship. The Princess Cruises Regal Princess, tied up in San Martin. She was built by Fincantieri Monfalcone, and she made her first cruise in 2014. Richard Clack filmed the Royal Princess from his house as she passed through Pentland Firth. Royal Princess is a Princess Cruises ship built in 2013 and named by the Duchess of Cambridge. She's another ship built by Fincantieri Monfalcone in Italy. We now move on to Sea Dream 1 of the Sea Dream Yacht Club. She was built in 1984 as Sea Goddess. She's registered in the Bahamas. Well, we're going to have a look around Sea Dream 1 and you can compare her to Britannia. There's a huge difference in the tonnage. It's amazing how much they can get into a little ship. The passageway to the cabins. There we're greeted with a bottle of champagne. There's a good sized double bed and a nice porthole. This is the dining room. Everything's free on board here unless you want a special wine. Once you've paid for your ticket, the rest is free. Here we're in the reception area and they have a display here for their little shop. It's rather dark, but here is the show lounge. It doubles up for all sorts of things. A bar. They even have a small card room, and you might get a quick look at the casino table and some machines. You may detect a note of disapproval. There's an internet table. And even a small gym. And then we go outside on deck, and in the sunny weather this is laid up for breakfast and buffet lunches. Everything seems so casual, so laid back. A deck seating area with a small bar. You can visit the bridge if you so desire. Deck. They have these wonderful lounges on either side of the after deck. And here you come to my favourite spot. These two swivel chairs, like fishermen's chairs really, looked over the stern of the ship. And you look down from there to the swimming pool. They have some small yachts that the passengers can use when in some sunny lagoon which the Britannia couldn't even start to think about. And they will even make a bed up for you on deck, if that is your wish. She and her identical sister, Sea Dream 2, are really most luxurious little ships. We're going to leave Sea Dream here in Barbados and return to Southampton, where we see Ventura berthed in Southampton. She's berthed bow first, so she'll have to back out. Ventura was built for P&O Cruises by Fincantieri Monfalcone in Italy, which is registered in Bermuda. She did her first cruise in 2008. You just saw the Calshot tender and tug, and then the Calshot lightship. These two vessels are preserved in Southampton. Ventura is easing slowly off her berth. Clear of the berth now, she'll start turning to make her journey down Southampton Water to Calshot, the Isle of Wight, and on for her cruise. We'll leave Ventura now and we come on to the Windstar, our last ship. We see Windstar in Barbados. She was built for Windstar Cruises in 1986 by Société Nouvelle d'Atelier et Chantier du Havre. Her passengers are lounging on deck, but it doesn't seem to be a particularly sunny day. Anyway, we're going to leave her there and finish this film. I do hope you've enjoyed it.